2022 Honda Civic Hatchback first drive, middle age maturity. But before we start, please support us by pressing the like and subscribe buttons, so that we can continue to provide information about car and motorcycle news. Also turn on the bell button to get the latest updates. Your support means a lot to us. Thank you. It happens to all of us. As we age, we start to appreciate the finer things, to relax and enjoy. But we also want to maintain our vitality, relive our youthful exuberance. The 2022 Honda Civic Hatchback is an in-the-sheetmetal embodiment of this dichotomy. Through almost 50 years, 2 doors and 4, from lithe and lean to sophisticated and upscale, and yes, more than a bit thicker, the Civic Hatch has aged well. But it still has plenty of spunk. Take, for example, the fact the 11th generation Civic Hatchback remains available with a manual transmission. Manuals are going the way of the dodo, but Honda thankfully continues to hold down the fort. This is no afterthought gearbox, either. Honda's manual transmissions have traditionally been among the best engineered in the business, and that remains the same in this car. Row it yourself, or not. It takes a hot second to modulate your left foot to the clutch pedal's light operation, but when you do, you'll be dropping the clutch, whipping through the expertly calibrated short throws, and downshifting with abandon. We even got the car to chirp its front tires in second gear as we wound up the power of the top-tier 2022 Civic Hatchback Sport Touring, with its 1.5-liter turbocharged inline-4 that delivers 180 horsepower and 177 pounds-to-foot of torque. Although Honda no longer offers a manual for the Civic sedan, the stick-shift gearbox is available for both the Sport Touring and the Sport version of the Civic Hatch, the latter of which comes equipped with Honda's 2.0-liter i4 with 158 horses. You'll also be able to continue to row it yourself on the coming, rowdier Civic C and Civic Type R. Then there's the other transmission, Honda CVT unit, which most Civic Hatchback buyers will opt for. We only had a chance to use it on the Sport Touring model with the 1.5-liter, and we found it to be perfectly acceptable in day-to-day driving. Press hard on the gas, and it behaves more like a traditional automatic, with an aggressive character at the top of the rev range, especially when you have it in sport mode. You can paddle shift it, as well, but it's not terribly exciting to do so. Oh, what a dynamic feeling. In many ways, the manual is just the icing on the cake of what has become a far more impressive car dynamically. It's apparent from the first aggressive tug on the wheel. Honda says it made significant improvements to the Civic's electronic power steering, and it shows. Although the feel is on the lighter side, its turn-in is direct, with impressive response. Then there's the 2022 Honda Civic Hatch's overall ride and handling, which is similar in scope to what we found during our drive of the Civic sedan with a few minor updates, and what we found there was a car that has been transformed. Like the sedan, the Civic Hatch's underpinnings have seen more nips and tucks than an aging actor, with myriad improvements to the body's materials and structural rigidity, upgrades to ball joints and front damper mounts, and a slightly wider rear track among the changes. As a result, the 2022 Honda Civic Hatchback feels as buttoned down as other sporty 4-door liftbacks at higher price points. It delivers a taut ride over the rough stuff that's not punishing, but you feel what's happening underneath you. If anything, it may be wound too tight for some. But when you want to charge hard into your favorite bends, the Civic Hatch is set up to impress. We got very aggressive into some tight hairpins, and it simply would not roll over. As for the engine and its overall response, you're going to need to keep it deep into the 6,000 revolutions per minute rev range, in second and third gear with the manual, to move the Civic Hatch with authority. Even then, it's not exactly a barn burner. As a CVT-equipped sport touring sedan, we recently tested accelerated from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 7.4 seconds. Despite what Honda says were multiple updates to the 1.5-liter, it's only 6 horsepower and 15 pounds-to-foot up on the previous model's power, and given how much it's grown, 1.4 inches in wheelbase, that's likely a wash at best. But then again, if you want to play Honda factory race car driver, that's what the C and Type R are for. If you're part of the point A to B crowd, then the 180-horse 1.5-liter with either transmission will more than suffice, as we found with the 2 Civic Hatchback Sport Touring models we drove. Whenever we needed to slow things down, the 11.1-inch ventilated front and 10.2-inch rear discs felt progressive and were modulated easily under light braking, and they were forceful when we hammered on them. The Touring CVT model also comes with a system Honda calls low-speed braking control, a downshift control feature that adds engine braking when traveling downhill.
Thanks for watching. Drop a like. Leave a comment. And don't forget to subscribe to watch more videos like this.